History often remembers conquerors for their brutality, but every now and then, a figure emerges who changes the narrative completely. One such leader was Saladin, whose capture of Jerusalem in 1187 stands as a remarkable testament to mercy and chivalry, especially when you compare it to the horrifying bloodbath that occurred when the Crusaders first took the city 88 years earlier. Let's set the scene. It is 1187. Saladin's forces have decisively defeated the Crusader army at the Battle of Hattin, and now stand at the gates of the Holy City, Jerusalem. The Christian defenders, led by Balian of Ibelin, brace for the worst. They remember the stories of their ancestors, who, in 1099, waded through streets flowing with the blood of the city's Muslim and Jewish inhabitants. A repeat of that horror seemed inevitable, but Saladin was a different kind of conqueror. Instead of ordering an all-out assault that would have resulted in a massacre, Saladin entered into negotiations with Balian. He agreed to a peaceful surrender. His terms were clear. The city would be spared, and its inhabitants could buy their freedom. The alternative was a brutal siege and certain death for everyone inside. Balian, knowing he couldn't win, accepted. This decision alone saved countless lives and prevented the city from being reduced to rubble. The ransom terms were set: 10 dinars for every man, 5 for every woman, and 2 for every child. Those who couldn't afford to pay would face enslavement. It sounds harsh by modern standards, but in the context of medieval warfare, it was an incredibly lenient arrangement. Remember, the standard practice was to either kill or enslave the entire population of a conquered city. Saladin was offering a way out, but this is where the story gets even more extraordinary. Saladin's mercy didn't stop with the negotiated terms. He witnessed the desperation of the people and was moved by compassion. The city's Christian patriarch and other wealthy leaders began leaving with their gold-laden carts, paying only their own ransoms, while thousands of their poor countrymen were left behind, unable to pay. Seeing this, Saladin's advisors urged him to seize their wealth, but he refused, stating that he would not go back on his word. Instead, Saladin and his brother Al-Adel began freeing thousands of people out of their own pockets. They saw the long lines of families being led into captivity and chose to personally intervene. Balian of Ibelin also played his part, using 30,000 dinars from the city's treasury to free another 7,000 of the poorest citizens. A deal Saladin readily accepted, but Saladin's personal acts of clemency are what truly cemented his legacy. He declared that all elderly people who had no hope of affording the ransom should be freed and allowed to leave without payment. He was approached by a group of weeping noblewomen, the widows and orphans of knights who had fallen in battle against his own armies. They pleaded for mercy. Instead of trading them as spoils of war, Saladin spoke to them with great courtesy, assured them of their safety, and not only freed them but also allowed them to leave with their possessions. Some were even given gifts from his own treasury. His sense of justice extended to religious matters as well. While he restored Muslim holy sites like the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque to their original purpose after they had been converted to churches, he didn't persecute the Christians who remained. He understood Jerusalem's importance to multiple faiths. He allowed Eastern and Orthodox Christians to stay in the city and continue to worship at their holy sites, while Western, or Frankish, Christians were generally required to pay a fee for pilgrimage. The doors to the city were not slammed shut. Saladin's conduct in 1187 created a powerful legacy that resonated across the medieval world. Even his Christian enemies couldn't help but acknowledge his honor. His actions stand in stark, dramatic contrast to the barbarity of the First Crusade. He proved that victory didn't have to be defined by slaughter, and that a conqueror could be both powerful and merciful. It is a story of chivalry and compassion that shines brightly in a period of history often defined by its darkness. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most incredible moments.